Hello guys, this is Vineet Varghese from Czar Securities and I welcome you to the fourth part of ethical hacking video series conducted by Czar Securities. So in the last tutorial, we discussed how to create a penetrating lab setup. So in the last tutorial, I also said how we will be cracking up a Unix or Linux based login system. So this is a DI's pentest lab disk. The downloads link are available below, so you will find it easy to download and you can practice that on. So as DI's is our target system and we are using Kali Linux as our attacking machine. So in order to start the attack, first of all I will fire up the terminal and I will enter nmap command. So both the OSs are running on the same network. So in order to find out the real IP address of the DIS system, what I will do, I will just type nmap tac s capital P and the subnet. So what this simple command does, it will try to ping each and every IP addresses within this range, and if the hosts are alive, they will reply back to our ping probes. So let's see how many IP addresses are giving us the replies. So let's see. So as you can see, we got a couple of good results here. It says .1.2 the host is up, .1.100 the host is up, 1.29 the host is up, 1.125 the host is up. So there are total 4 hosts which are already up in this whole network. According to me, I think so 1.100 would be the DI's penetration testing ISO's IP address, but let's see if it is or not. For that, I'll just fire up Iceweasel. That perfect. So Iceweasel just opens up. Iceweasel is the default web browser, which is a Firefox-based browser, which itself comes in default with Kali Linux. So this is the home page of DI's Pentest Lab disk. We will just click here to start our practical. So basically every hacking or every penetration testing begins with information gathering. Even in this scenario, we will be collecting as much information as possible from the website. So as you can see, you will notice different mail addresses here. So these kind of mail addresses are very important and very crucial in information gathering. And when you come down here, as you can notice, it says senior system admin. His name is Adam Adams and his email address is adamsa@herod.net. So these three email addresses are very crucial according to me. But what we will do, we will just save all the email addresses which are given up here. And I will just save it to a new file, which would be info gather. So as you can see, there are different email addresses here. So what I will do, I will just remove out the unwanted things here. So as you can see, we have filtered out the email addresses here. So these email addresses can be the username for the logins which is seen here in this Linux machine. It can be. It's just a guess out here. So what we will do, I'll just replace, because we don't need this extension of email addresses here. So I'll just replace it all. So I have just removed all those unwanted things. So we got a pure username kind of thing here. The basic thing here is what we can do is we can tweak on with these usernames. It can be Patrick. What can I do? I can tweak it into P Patrick by just adding up the initials first and just adding up Patrick. Same with Thompson T. I will write the initials first. T Thompson and just Thompson. Same with all the other. So I have prepared a better username list out here, which is a custom made username list. As you can see, as I said, I have added up T Thompson T, TT Thompson, and Thompson, Benedict B, B Benedict, and Benedict. So all the usernames which I collected from the website, I have tweaked it with three different usernames. So it's just initially a guess. Maybe that will work out later. So I have also added few default usernames which are used by administrators, which can be webmaster, admin, administrator, guest, and root. So these are basic usernames which can be easily guessable. So I have added it here in the username. The next thing would be to see what kind of open ports and services are running over on the target system. For that, I will just type simple nmap command and will enter up the IP address of the target machine, and we will wait for the results. So as you can see, we got our nmap result. We can find two crucial ports open here, which is SSH and FTP. SSH and FTP are two different protocols from where we can access the server remotely and we can do any kind of changes after exploiting it successfully. So we would be emphasizing more on SSH for right now. So as we can see, the SSH port is open. In order to check it out, what we will do, we will just type SSH and we will try to connect to the target system just with a guessable username. So I am trying to connect through SSH protocol with the username root to the target machine, which IP address is 192.168.1.100. So let's see what it says. So yeah, so it's asking for a password, which means SSH is working. As you know, we don't know the password initially, but we are trying to figure out what password we would be getting. So the main thing here would be, we would be trying out the usernames first. Most of the time, administrators are so lazy that they keep the username same as the password or the password same as the username. For example, if the username is Michael, the password can be Michael. 80% of the time, administrators do these kind of small mistakes, but hackers like us can take really good advantage of that. So in order to check it out, as you know, we have a good amount of information on usernames. So what we will do, we will fire up Hydra. Hydra is a small tool which is used for password brute forcing. So right now what we are going to do here, we are trying to brute force the target machine over the SSH protocol which is running on port 22. So as you can see, it's asking for target, which is 192.168.1.100. If you are using a website, you can directly give the URL of the website, but here it's just an IP address. The second thing, it's asking for port, which is 22, and the protocol is SSH. I will be using SSL here, and I also want to see what kind of attempts Hydra is making. The next tab is for passwords, and here I am sourcing it out to the username which I have here, and I'm using the same username file because I think so that the administrator must have been keeping the username same as the password. See, we are just initially guessing it out. After that, we will just hit enter and I will just maximize it. So in just mere time, it just says the login is bbanter and the password is bbanter. So our guess was right. I will just stop it as we got the correct login and password. As we guessed, the same login ID and the same is with password. We'll just confirm that out. We'll try to connect back with SSH using bbanter as the username at the rate 192.168.1.100. So it's asking for password. So the password we would be entering is bbanter. Let's see if it lets us to get in. So as you can see, we are in the system. With just who am I command, we will see the user is bbanter. So let's see what kind of privileges bbanter has. It's asking for password like bbanter. Okay, so bbanter doesn't has the super user privileges. So which means bbanter user itself is not allowed to access the root system. Just trying to guess it out once again. If you see, we will try to access the shadow file and the password file. It says permission denied as we thought, and the password file. Yeah, initially every Linux machine would allow to open up etc slash password file, but it would deny the permission because if you want to access the shadow file, you have to be on root privileges. So as you can see, we can access the etc slash password file. So the next step would be to try out something else, which is, I think so we will go back to the site and we will see for some hint. So as you can see, A. Adams is a senior system admin. So I think so Adam should have a root access to the machine. In order to achieve that, what we will do here is we'll just create another username, Adam, which comprises of Adam, Adam, Adams A, and AA Adams. So these are the three usernames which I think so can be used by the system administrator. So I will just save it and I will just close it. Yeah, I need to save that one also. I will once again get back to Hydra, and what I will do here, there's just a simple change here. I will just select Adam file as the username list, and the password that we have a custom made password file here. You can also download custom made password files which is available on net, and I will also give you some links below where you can download wordless and passwords, maybe most common passwords like 123 admin and all that. So this is just a simple a password file which comprises of names, numbers, and default poor passwords. So what I will do, I will just try it up. I'm selecting the password as the password list and try as login as password, and I will hit start. So it will take a couple of minutes because we are trying to brute force with three different usernames. As you can see, we have three different usernames here. So it's trying out everything. So the username A Adams is being used as a login, and at last we got the password here. What I will do, I'll just top it off here. So the password for username AA Adams is Nostradamus. In order to check it out, we will just go out and use SSH AA Adams at the rate 192.168.1.100, and the password is Nostradamus as shown here. Nostradamus. Let's see if it lets us in or not. Boom, we are in. Who am I? AA Adams. What kind of privilege do I have? We'll just check it out. etc that space etc. Okay, permission denied. Let's see that same with password. Okay, it's allowing us. So we will be just trying out this simple command, which is sudo tat l. What this will do, it will give us preliminary access to files which are protected for administrator or for root. So we'll just hit enter and it's asking for password. Nostradamus. So now it says user AA Adams may run the following commands on this host. So we have a temporary access to the system as a root. We have read-write access to this system. So let's see if I can access the shadow file, which is the password file of a Linux machine. Cat /etc shadow. It says permission denied. Okay, let's try with sudo cat /etc shadow. Okay, so as we can see, it initially gave me the permission to access the shadow file because I quoted with sudo. So as you can see, root, Adams, banter and copy. These are the four accounts or usernames in this machine right now. So the next step would be, our main priority is to crack the root username's password. What we will do, we will just copy it up and we will save this up for our later hash cracking process. For that I will just save that up in this dis folder with creating a text file shadow.txt and I will just save that here. Coming back once again here, I also need access to password. I also save that. Create document password.txt. Let's save that. So we would be using these two files to decrypt the hashes which are given here. So the main priority of ours is to crack the root user's password. So why we taken up the password and shadow file? No idea, but I will explain it. So we have taken this two files here on our local machine because there is a tool known as John, also known as John the Ripper. So what we will do, we will combine these two files as one, which will make it easy for John the Ripper to crack the passwords much easier and faster. So let's do that. In order to combine these two files, what I will do, I will use the command unshadow. Unshadow is a tool which belongs to John the Ripper. Then I will get the shadow file and the password file. I will just give out the destination of the file here, device shadow txt and slash root desktop device password txt. So we are combining these two files into one, and we will be naming that as a file to crack .db, db extension for database. As you can see, we have that file here in our root folder. So the next step would be to crack the password using John the Ripper. John has that word list. We will use the same word list we got here, which is our password.txt, and I will just get the destination of the file here, desktop and password.txt, and the file which is in root the file which we need to crack is situated in root, as you can see. So here it says no hashes loaded. So most of the time there would be a simple error shown like this. So what you can do is you can go back here and just switch the shadow second and password first. So this will again create a file known as, it will again write back the file to crack.db. Now again we will try this. So it has worked. It says loaded 4 password hashes with 4 different salts, remaining 1 password hash, and it also gets over. So we will again use the John command and we will type show file to crack. So as you can see, it listed out the cracked passwords for all the users we have here. So for root, it is tarot. For A Adams, as we know, it's Nostradamus, and for B Banter, it is B Banter. So as you can see, the root's password is TAROT. So let's try that out. As I said, root at the rate 192.168.1.100. Asking for password, we will just put the password. But here it is saying permission denied. So in many cases, in many penetration testing scenarios, you will find remotely you cannot access the root user. So we have a pretty simple hack for that. I will just get out of here. I will use SSH again using A Adams account, not username. I will just first log in. Password is Nostradamus. Okay, we are in, and the next step would be type super user, and the super user is root, and the root's password is tarot, TAROT. Enter, and we are root. So we will just confirm by typing who am I, and it says root. So this was a simple tutorial of how to crack a Linux or Unix based login system. So hope you enjoyed this, and in the next tutorial we will be talking about basics of Nmap. We will see you in the next tutorial. Be there and keep hacking.